Community Health Systems, CHS. We've built a reputation, haven't we? Strong leadership, quality care. But reputations aren't carved in stone. They're earned every single day. And that's why we're here. To dissect the how, the why, the what next. We're going to break down the key leadership lessons, the DNA of our success. Challenges, successes, takeaways, insights. 4 pillars. First, challenges. The gauntlet. Healthcare, a battlefield of constant change. Regulations, technology, patient expectations. Staying ahead? It's not about reacting, it's about anticipating, embracing the chaos. Who here feels truly comfortable with the rate of change?
Comfortable? No. Prepared? We try to be.
Try isn't good enough, Mark. We need to be proactive. Innovation. Not just in technology, but in process, in thinking. Fostering a culture where new ideas aren't just tolerated, they're demanded.
We've implemented suggestion boxes across all departments.
Suggestion boxes? Sarah, that's cute. We need more than suggestion boxes. We need to empower our people, give them the resources, the freedom to experiment. And finally, collaboration. Healthcare is a team sport. Silos? They're death. Doctors, nurses, administrators, IT. Everyone needs to be on the same page, pulling in the same direction.
Easier said than done. We have different departments, different priorities.
Then we realign those priorities, David. We break down those walls. Because when we work together, when we share knowledge and expertise, that's when we truly excel. That's when we deliver the best possible care to our patients. And that, ultimately, is what we're all here for. Right? Good. Now, let's talk about success. But first, let's not forget those challenges. Embracing change isn't a one-time thing. It's a constant evolution. We need to be like water, adapting to the shape of the container, but always pushing forward.
Easier said than done when you're dealing with, say, a new billing system that no one understands.
Exactly, Mark. And that's where innovation comes in. It's not just about shiny new gadgets. It's about finding creative solutions to everyday problems. How can we make that billing system more user-friendly? How can we train our staff more effectively?
We've been running workshops, offering extra training sessions.
Good. But are those workshops truly engaging? Are they empowering our people to take ownership of the problem? Or are they just going through the motions? Finally, and perhaps most importantly, collaboration. This industry is a complex web. No one person has all the answers. We need to break down those silos, foster open communication, and work together as a team.
We've tried cross-departmental meetings, but they often devolve into finger-pointing sessions.
Then we need to change the dynamic of those meetings, David. We need to create a safe space where people feel comfortable sharing their ideas, their concerns, without fear of judgment. We need to emphasize shared goals, shared responsibility. Because ultimately, we're all in this together. We're all working towards the same goal, providing the best possible care to our patients. And that requires a commitment to embracing change, fostering innovation, and emphasizing collaboration every single day. Now, let's talk about success. And it all starts with patient care. It's the bedrock of everything we do.
Of course, patient care is always our priority.
Is it, David? Really? Because I see protocols being followed to the letter, but I don't always see empathy. I see efficiency metrics, but not always compassion. We need to put the patient at the center of every decision, every process. Not just say it, mean it.
So what does that look like in practice?
It means listening, truly listening to their concerns. It means going the extra mile, anticipating their needs. It means treating them like human beings, not just a diagnosis. And that leads to building strong relationships, not just with patients, but with everyone. Employees, stakeholders, the community. Trust. Open communication. These aren't just buzzwords. They're the foundation of a thriving organization.
We have employee satisfaction surveys.
Surveys are a start, Mark. But are we acting on the feedback? Are we creating a culture where people feel valued, respected, heard? Because our people, they're not just cogs in a machine. They are our most valuable asset, and we need to invest in them. Training, development, opportunities for growth. We want to attract the best and brightest, and then we want them to stay.
That requires resources, Anna.
And it's an investment that pays dividends, David. A highly skilled, motivated workforce translates directly into better patient care, increased efficiency, and a stronger bottom line. Patient care, strong relationships, investing in our people. These aren't just separate initiatives. They're interconnected. They feed into each other. They create a virtuous cycle of success. So how do we make all this stick? How do we ensure these values permeate every level of the organization? It starts with leading by example. Integrity, empathy, a commitment to excellence. These aren't just words we put on a plaque. They're behaviors we need to model every single day. Our actions speak louder than any policy manual.
Easier said than done, Anna. We're all under a lot of pressure.
I understand that, David. But that pressure can't be an excuse for cutting corners, for treating people poorly. In fact, it's more important to uphold these values when things get tough. Which brings me to communication. Clear, open, honest communication. We need to ensure everyone is informed, engaged, and feels comfortable sharing their ideas, their concerns.
We send out regular newsletters.
Newsletters are great for disseminating information, Sarah. But are they fostering genuine dialogue? Are they creating a two-way street? We need to actively solicit feedback, listen to our employees, and respond accordingly. Town halls, surveys, one-on-one meetings, whatever it takes.
What about rumors? How do we combat misinformation?
Transparency, Mark. The best way to kill a rumor is to address it head-on with the truth. Don't let things fester in the shadows. Shine a light on them. Finally, adaptability. This industry is constantly evolving. New technologies, new regulations, new challenges. We need to be flexible, agile, and willing to embrace change.
That can be disruptive. People resist change.
Of course they do. But we can't let fear hold us back. We need to create a culture where people are comfortable experimenting, learning, and growing. Where failure is seen as an opportunity, not a setback. We need to be proactive, not reactive. Always looking for new and better ways to do things. So, what are the real takeaways? What can other organizations learn from our successes, and yes, our failures? First, prioritize empathy. Healthcare is, at its heart, a people business. Empathy, understanding, compassion. These aren't soft skills, they're essential skills.
Easier said than done when you're dealing with, difficult patients or difficult doctors.
Of course. But that's when empathy is most critical. Trying to understand where they're coming from, what's driving their behavior. It doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it helps us navigate it more effectively.
And what about striving for excellence? I mean, we all want to be excellent, but
But it's hard, right? It requires setting ambitious goals, holding ourselves accountable. It means constantly pushing ourselves to be better, even when we're already good. And it means inspiring our teams to do the same. Finally, embrace diversity. Not just because it's the right thing to do, although it is, but because it makes us stronger. Different perspectives, different backgrounds, different experiences. They lead to better decision-making, more innovation.
So in conclusion,
In conclusion, we at CHS have striven to show that by embracing change, focusing on patient care, and fostering a culture of innovation, we've achieved some measure of success. Other organizations can learn from our example, including the importance of empathy, communication, and adaptability. And by following these principles, they can emulate our success and drive positive change in their own industries.